Booch. We playing Booch ball. Booch. We playing Booch ball.
Should all Booch acquaintance be forgot and never kombucha? Should all kombucha be for drunk? And remember, it's at Booch Ball.
At Booch Ball.
Have a tremendous holiday. Welcome back to Booch Ball, the only podcast on the internet talking kombucha and college sports. My name is Alex. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Freed. How are you today, Freed?
Salute, good Alex. Thanks for the singing. Good to see you.
No problem. I'm in the holiday spirit, Freed. After recovering from COVID-19 or COVID-23.
COVID-23, welcome back.
COVID.
How you feeling?
I feel fine. I've been feeling all right. Apparently they changed around I thought that it was still, if you had COVID, you had to be in isolation for 10 days or something. But apparently now it's 5 days. And then for the next 5 days, you're supposed to wear a mask.
Okay.
And I was going to stick to that. I was like, all right, sorry, family. I came home for Christmas. I stayed in my room because I was the 5th day. And then it was the 7th day was my cousin's engagement party. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't, you guys don't even want me there. Right. And I was part of me was trying to get out of it, I think. But also I was I'm like, what do you want me to And then every single person was like, what are you talking about? You're fine. You're not sick. Just come to the party. And so just like that, I was cured, Freed.
How the times have changed. I almost wish that I had COVID so that I didn't have to spend Christmas at the in-laws last week. It was an experience, to say the least, but we survived. We prospered. We ate a little bit of food, even had a little bit of Booch, and now we're going to do it all again.
Very nice, Freed. Yep. I had a lovely little Christmas, stayed with my mom's side, and we had a nice little New York City Christmas. We went to see a Broadway show, which was called
Pizza for Dinner. Yelled at some rats.
What? Oh, with the rats? Yeah. There's a big. I feel like New York City doesn't lean into the Nutcracker having a massive rat problem in it. There's a rat king in the Nutcracker and everything like that. They should do a gritty New York City reboot of the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
They did it for West Side Story. It's just begging for it. We could be the ones to do it, Freed.
Maybe the Booch would be flowing.
The
Boochies would be the rats. Who would be the rat king? Who's the king of the Boochies?
You and me, baby.
That's right.
One big king just in a trench coat. Drinking Booch. All right, so that's our grand idea. Welcome back to Booch Ball. This is the final Booch Ball episode of 2023, Freed. What a ride it's been.
Yeah, year number 4 for us. We're almost ready to put it in the Boocha books, but we got to go out with a bang. We still got some major football games. We got the playoffs to talk about. Right. We got Miami's bowl game tomorrow.
Which I will be attending in New York City. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it right now, but I got a bad boy lawn mowing right outside my window. Can you hear that?
No. The only thing that's saving grace is that it's probably keeping that bad boy dog at bay.
No, he'll hear it soon. Just wait.
Right. Fair enough. All right. Well, then let's get through this episode, Freed, because not only is it the college football playoffs, scandal abounds, but there is also another very important playoff match happening right now, which is the BBC playoff, the Booch Ball Committee playoff, Freed. And today we have the matchup of the number 1 seed versus the number 4 seed as we enter into this, the first segment of the last episode of the year, which is, of course, what we're drinking.
What we're drinking. Now, Alex, I don't remember exactly how the seeding worked out here, but I did hear we have some opt-outs for today's game.
Mhm.
What's the latest?
Yeah, so there've been some Booches that have hit the portal. This has been a very interesting season in general. This was a very Brew Doctor heavy season. And we also kind of like were hitting some repeat Booches and kind of seeing if our opinions had changed on them throughout the years. So what ended up happening was that the field became pretty shrunk down to a lot of the Brew Doctor options. But the problem is, Brew Doctors, compared to the trilogies and health aids of the world, are a lot harder to find. And I've also found that the Brew Doctors have a lot more of like seasonal, one time only little flavor options. So that was the case in this matchup here, where we had as our number 4 seed, it was like some kind of like summer edition of something. So we decided to scrap the summer edition since there's no chance that we were going to find it. And we decided in an unprecedented move, the BBC decided to put the best team they felt was available. And it happened to be a Booch that we actually haven't had at all, certainly haven't had this year. And that's going to be, as our controversial number 4 seed, the Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle Holiday Edition. Great audio. Oh, Freed forgot to unmute himself as the lawnmower went by.
Yeah, the lawnmower is still going. I was saying how I literally just dropped this on the floor in front of my computer as I was setting up my microphone. It was a good thing it was in the koozie. I almost pulled an Alex, but there's a backup in the fridge, so we're fine.
Well, any given Booch ball, Freed, you never know what's going to happen. So that's what we've got as our number 4 Booch, and the number 4 seed will be matching up against our number 1 seed, which also happens to be a limited edition release. This is the Brew Doctor Raspberry Limeade.
I do have the Raspberry Limeade in hand. We're going to keep it sheathed up and in the fridge just in case we need it, because it wasn't findable for Alex in the biggest city on earth somehow.
That's true. Well, they're not. It was again, that was some kind of like limited edition release. Apparently, they've swapped it out for some kind of like vanilla oak flavored.
Yeah, this is the Founders Series. When I did my search, the store that I found it at said they had the Vanilla Oak Founders Series, but when I did my online order, lo and behold, Raspberry Limeade showed up.
You'd think with our connections to Brew Doctor Rob, one of the founding members of Brew Doctor, I very subtly hinted at the fact that maybe we would need, since we were doing a Brew Doctor special for our playoffs, that it would be nice to have these because they're not super readily available. And Rob was basically, he either didn't pick up on the hint or he completely brushed aside the hint and was like, yeah, you guys should be able to find some of that stuff. The Snickerdoodle's around. The raspberry could be a little tough to find, but most of the other stuff will be out there. And I was like, all right, Rob, because I'm not going to press the point. But,
we
Rob,
appreciate the Brew Doctor and the generosity that they already showed us this year. We're not pushing our luck here.
I mean, every once in a while, I feel like you do have to look a gift horse in the mouth, you know?
Well, let's look a flavor profile in the mouth on this Snickerdoodle. We got 2 empty sets of boxes, no fruity, no floral. We got a half full spice and a half full herbal. Interesting. It says a holiday treat.
And they're a little soft
and smoothly sweet.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I cut you off. Yeah. Holiday treat, lightly spiced and smoothly sweet. And then the sloth. Do we remember the sloth's name?
Oh, it's Otis Siskid, of course.
Otis, the sloth, has a cute little scarf and hat combination. He's carrying a tray of Snickerdoodle cookies and he is ice skating. And the little speech box says, "Sippin' in a winter wonderland."
That's right. 3 years ago, we did a Health Aid Holiday Cheers edition. I'm assuming this is going to be similar, but other than that, I've never had a Christmas or a sweet.
Yeah, it's a dessert Booch.
Let's see what we got.
All right, let's crack this thing open. Any explosions?
Minor explosion. We're foaming up to the top.
All right.
Otis says, "Be the ball."
Oh, very good. Be the Booch ball. My Otis says, "Ah," on the underside of the cap. It hits me with that classic kind of Brew Doctor vinegary nasal notes, but I can taste. It smells like buttery and with a hint of cinnamon.
Yeah, it's cookie spice. Definitely. It smells like they intended.
All right, let's see if it tastes like they intended. Freed, bottoms up, and cheers and happy holidays.
Interesting.
This kind of tastes like somebody is like whispering snickerdoodle in the back of the room. They're like
Yeah.
snickerdoodles. It's
It
like
has-
ASMR snickerdoodle, like snickerdoodle.
It has that typical brew doctor profile, that mild herbaliness that all brew doctors typically have. And yeah, like you said, there's just that little bit of, it's not really a spicy spice. It's just that there's something there. There's a little cinnamony, licoricey.
It's the licorice. Yeah, it's the licorice root. It's just like kind of coats the back of the tongue very subtly. It's pretty good. I get a little skeptical with these sometimes, where I think maybe like the flavor, they're gonna go a little over the top with the candy sweetness of it, but I actually think it's pretty well balanced.
Yeah, I would agree. It almost reminds me of the Magical Unicorn Cupcake by Hum. I don't think you've ever had that one, but it's a similar kind of a sweet booch, but it's subtle and it works.
Yeah.
Speaking of licorice, have you ever had Good and Plenty candy?
I can't say that I specifically have.
So I received a box, like one of those movie theater type boxes I received from the in-law grandma, because it's purple and she knows I like purple. And
they kind of look like little pills. They look like prescription
right.
medication.
Yeah, they're licorice candy. And I don't think anybody who's mentally stable would buy those with the intention of eating them. I just don't. And I like licorice, but this thing, it is plenty. It's so much. That little box, it weighed like 4 pounds. And it was just, there was so many of these little tiny licorice candies. And they're so dense. And I checked the ingredients and it was just like sugar, corn syrup, and then like 30 preservatives. And I was like, oh my
red
Lord.
dye number 6.
Yeah. So I ate a handful and then threw the rest out. And no, those are.
You can either be good or you can be plenty. You can't be both.
That was way too much, way overdone.
My cup runneth over with the.
But I appreciate the gift, Mima. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Again, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. All right, so I feel like initially positive. We're not singing the Snickerdoodle praises, but it's pretty good. My thing about Snickerdoodle, Freed, I don't know if this was a universal experience or if this was just an experience from my middle school, but I'm assuming that you had some sort of like the type of class that's like a family planning kind of class. They do like sex education. They'll like try to teach you things like sewing and knitting. Like, did you ever have
home
like that? Yeah. Home economics.
I guess I never had that sort of class. No.
Okay.
We had a 1-day don't get knocked up seminar, but that was about as far as it went.
We had a whole class in 8th grade throughout. We had a class, but one of the things is that they had a kitchen on campus, and so you would go across the hall, and in the other room there was like a pretty legit like kitchen set up there, and the thing that everybody looked forward to every year was making Snickerdoodle cookies, and that was the first place I ever really like heard of or saw Snickerdoodles, and I really am just like Snickerdoodles aren't like a big part of my life. Like they're not. I don't know. They're not as ubiquitous as I thought. Like based off of this, like Snickerdoodle, like obviously it's a big thing, and I would agree with you. Part of my like.
I think that my South Florida culture is rather similar to your Northeastern culture, considering the majority of people in South Florida, including both of my parents, are from the Northeast.
Right.
We're kind of similar on the culture tree. And I grew up never really having had Snickerdoodles. I had heard of them on television, and I always thought, wow, that must be something really special.
So is it like a Midwestern kind of thing, do we think?
I don't know. But when it comes down to it, it's kind of just a cinnamon spice soft cookie. I think the key is that they're soft. They got to be soft.
Right.
And
They're delicious. Don't get me. I mean, that is a top tier cookie.
So my company sends out snickerdoodles to all our clients and employees as a Christmas gift every year. And they're like moderately good. The best part about them is that my wife doesn't like them, which means I get to eat the whole box.
Yummy.
So I think I prefer something that's kind of good that she doesn't like, or that's really good that I have to share or like fight for, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because I just get to eat them at my own pace, like 1 or 2 a day, instead of being like, all right, if I don't eat 6 right now, I'm not going to get any.
That is an interesting element of like living with a significant other. Like when you're living with a roommate, like for me, like the only history I have had is living with roommates. Like if you get something, it's yours. Like, and if your roommate like isn't supposed to go into your like Oreo cookie stash and eat them, like maybe like unless you break it out and we're all sharing. But when you guys are living together and sharing groceries, everything's free game.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's why I haven't gotten married yet, Freed.
Clearly. I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
But so many options, so many opportunities to do so. But I'm like, sorry, you can't be drinking my Booch. I'm sorry.
I do remember one of your roommates drank one of your kombuchas once. That was a friend or somebody.
Yeah. Oh, it was the guitar player for Youth XL, Dominic Gregoretti, came in and was
what
like,
an asshole.
and just started drinking one. It was drinking the Blackberry Trails Brew Doctor. And I was like, I was going to give you the clear mind, bro, or the love.
Yeah, that was right after we got the 12-pack. There was certain Booches we're saving for later in the season. We got the snickerdoodle, all is well.
But hey, and yeah, in the spirit of Christmas, Freed, you know what? What's mine is theirs. I had a very nice moment, like where I got into the Christmas spirit. It was like right after I had gotten my COVID positive test, and I was sitting at home and I was kind of being a Grinch a little bit. And I saw that there were like holiday movies that I could watch, and I was like, I'm not really feeling like a holiday. But then I realized I hadn't finished wrapping my presents. So I sat down, started wrapping my presents, and as I was wrapping them, then I put on the Christmas movies in the background. Started with Frosty the Snowman and then finished up with the Grinch. And Freed, literally my heart grew 3 sizes that day. I was like, and I had taken a
from
little
XL to medium.
Yeah. I had taken to just small. Oh yeah, to medium, I guess. Yeah.
To adult medium, yeah.
And I had taken a little bit, I'd taken a little bit of a gummy also, but I really got into the moment, and I started writing like little notes to go along with my gifts, and it really brought like the spirit of the thing, and it felt like I didn't, because sometimes it feels like you're just getting gifts, just like, especially if you wait late, you're kind of like, what does this person want? I don't know, a fucking candle.
You just get something, the candle, but it's about the appreciation.
Yeah. But if you write a sweet little note, I think like I think less is more with gifts sometimes, where like if you get like one nice, not necessarily expensive, but thoughtful gift, and then you accompany it with like, hey, I got this because I know how much something means to you, and a blah blah blah, and I hope you have a very merry.
I would almost rather just have a note. Like, you can keep the gift. I don't need you to spend $15 on me on something that I'm going to throw in the trash, because I probably will. Like, if you just write me a nice note and say that you appreciate me or that you like certain things that I do, that to me would be substantially more meaningful.
Yeah. Like, this is not a problem at all, but it is something I think of with Christmas. Like I get, especially with like stockings and stuff like that. Like, and my parents are amazing, and they always get like, they will get me like so many like little trinkets and things. But then at the end, I'm like, all right, I have like a Jenga set. I have like coasters. I have like for like 5 Christmases in a row, I got like a beanie, either with a flashlight, LED flashlight, or it was like a beanie that had like a Bluetooth built in, just like some like $40 like thing that you can buy at like the Sharper Image or something like that. I was like, I'm never gonna wear this, but thank you, but I am never gonna use this.
Right.
So, whatever. Less is more. That's the spirit of Christmas, though. What I've found as I'm starting to get older and more mature is realizing that I actually get more enjoyment out of getting something nice for somebody. And I think that's the spirit of Christmas, Reed. And speaking of the spirit of Christmas, it's time for us to move on to the second segment of Booch Ball, which, as we all know, is what we're thinking.
What we're thinking. And before we get into what we're thinking, I was just thinking real quick about wrapping.
Before we get into what we're thinking, we're going to do what you're thinking.
Yeah, we're going to do what I'm thinking, what Freed's thinking. Wrapping presents. I see a future Youth XL song here. I see a music video. I see you
Covered
sitting
in
on the
tape.
floor, Indian style, cross-legged, however you want to call it. If we're being
Crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce.
Native American
With a bunch of presents
style.
in front of you, and you were just sitting there rapping to them.
Huh. I'm like hip hop rapping. Yo, I'm wrapping up my presents and I'm wrapping up good. Santa's gonna come to my neighborhood. It's Christmas. The Christmas rap. There's already a song called The Christmas Rap, which is or Christmas Rapping. I think it's by the Spice Girls, because I did like a
gift wrap.
Gift rap. Yeah, gift rap. Oh, that's good, because I've told you about my rapper alter ego, Lil Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because one of Lil Boy's lines is like, yo, my name's Lil Boy, and for Christmas, I'm gonna take all your toy. Like, everything is about him being a little kind of bratty kid.
But you could turn that around into like a Robin Hood sort of vibe, where you take all the toys and give them to the less fortunate, and then
I'll take all the toys and I'll give them to myself. And if you're looking at me, I hate Christmas and Santa and his elves. Boom, boom, it's Christmas. The Christmas rap.
And this has been What's Freed's Thinking.
Thank you for blessing us with this content. But in the same vein, Freed, what I wanted to do in this segment here is thinking about the spirit of Christmas and thinking if we were, like metaphorically, Santa was bringing us a gift, and in the sense of we are the Miami Hurricanes football program, and Santa was to bring us a gift for this, to use in the upcoming year. What is the thing that would be at the top of your Christmas list that's realistic that you think that Santa could afford to bring you?
Yeah, so when we were discussing this, I interpreted it a little bit differently. And I think Santa's a giving dude. He's kind of magical and whimsical, and he could make anything happen. So I'm just going to say Santa's going to bring me an ACC championship. Let's skip the bullshit with the trinkets, the $40 beanies.
Transfers,
just go straight to the means to the end. Just get me the championship. I want to win the ACC next season, and I think we can do it.
All right, Freed. Well, I had a similar, but maybe depending on how the whole thing shakes out. I don't ask for much, Freed. All I'm asking is for a 9-win regular season. That's all I want.
Modest.
I don't think that's too much to ask for. 9-3. Drop a game to Florida State. Who cares? I don't care how we get there. Let's just make it a 9-win season.
Okay. So, I mean, real quick, if Santa's listening, what do we need to get there? We need a quarterback, right? We need a quarterback.
Yes, I would love it would have been great to have had a Christmas Cam Ward. They were talking about that on the Lebitard show, and the talk was about if we had gotten Cam Ward, like Cam Ward had the opportunity to sign with us like the day of or the day before signing day.
Yeah.
Which could then have been, what was the guy's, Jeremiah Smith?
Yeah, I know where you're going. Yeah, you're saying if we got Cam Ward,
it could have been the momentum shift. Yeah, and now people are saying, they're like,
it might have. Who knows?
But they're thinking like Cam Ward had the most leverage there if he had wanted to make a move. So then it's like, well, now he's, now we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But yeah, we're going to need a quarterback. And then the other thing I had written down was that we haven't had a dominant wide receiver since, like, I literally can't remember. Like, we've had a couple, like, dominant type tight ends, I guess. But we haven't had like an Andre Johnson since Andre Johnson, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we thought Amon Richards was going to be that guy after his freshman year before he got hurt. And was never really the same sophomore year, and then had to retire.
We've had to live with like Braxton Berrios and like Xavier Restrepo, but like you're only like
that
if
guy.
you can only be so good. Like there's a reason why Tom Brady and the Patriots got Randy Moss. It's like they can't just throw to Wes Welker and have that be the entire offense. Like you need to have a Justin Jefferson. You need to have somebody like that.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that just now when I was saying what would we ask Santa for in terms of building blocks.
Mhm.
I 100% agree on offense. All we're missing is that number one guy. And that doesn't necessarily have to come from the outside. We have some guys already on the roster that I think have the potential to be that explosive, huge play threat, but maybe not with the body type of somebody who can be that next Andre Johnson and just make it easy. And then similarly on the other side of the ball, we're losing our two stud safeties. I think we need one more number one guy on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary, either at corner or safety. We need one more guy to just be an absolute stud, Ed Reed, Cam Kinchins type player in the back of the defense. We need another one of those. That's what I'm asking Santa for. And if we get those three things, the QB, the number one receiver, the number one safety, that's a lot to ask. But if you get those three things, Miami
That's why I think it makes sense to ask for one or two of those things. And I think if Santa even just brings one of those things, that's a recipe for a 9-win season, which is all I'm asking for Christmas.
Yeah.
Besides
with the 9-win season, the ACC is in play.
Mm-hmm. All right, Freed. So that's our Christmas gift list, but Christmas is coming. It's past. Okay. It's now time to look on into the new year. And with New Year's comes new resolutions. Freed, what is your New Year's resolution in the college football realm?
So I took this one personally as not like offensively, but for me personally, what do I want to do for my college football fandom in 2024?
Oh, wait, Freed, I forgot. Sorry to cut you off. I was just looking through my notebook, and last year we called these our New Year's Booch-olutions.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Okay, so now I can actually look through and see. I had a feeling that the thing that I asked for that I was going to do did not happen.
We've done this before. Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, do you know? Well, I guess let's give our Booch-olutions, and then if you have them written down, maybe we can discuss what our Booch-olutions were last year, because I don't remember.
Okay. Wait, do you want me to tell you what they were? Or do you want me to? Sorry, I know I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I think we should let's do our 2024 ones, and then we'll revisit. I don't want to get. Okay. I don't want to influence myself.
All right, hit me.
So, I have two. I'd like to ideally watch and/or go to more football games, and ideally with Miami fans, my friends, or Boochies. That would be great.
I think that was yours last. Well, sorry. I think that was yours last year, and we did.
Probably was. And I'd say that was achieved. I would, but my main one for this year is to say more but tweet less, if that makes sense.
Not really.
So I'd like to tweet less, but when I do tweet, to say more and provide more information, provide more value, and less reactionary, just like blurts out of like
less plenty, more good.
Yeah. Damn it, Mario, or nice catch. I'm gonna tone those down a little bit and try to get more information packed into the tweets that I do bring to the table.
Okay. Got it. All right. I like that. My resolution is to attend a non-Miami major college football matchup. Miami, I don't want Miami to be involved. I want this to be like a regular season, like whether it's somewhere like, I don't know, like Texas, Oklahoma, like some game that like means something that's in a cool place, and like go with a crew of people. This needs to happen this year.
Okay. So the Booch Ball road trip, non-Miami version.
Yes.
I'm in.
We just got to pick the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like something in the SEC, something in the South, because it's like a neutral point.
SEC.
I'd love to go to Athens, Georgia to see a game. That'd be sweet. I want to go to like a classic like venue, like where football means something to the people there.
Okay. I'm in. Yeah, I love it.
That was also my Boocholution last year. And I did not do that.
You did not. Okay.
But so that just means I have to do it this time around. My other Boocholutions were, this was less for me, but more for college football in general, which was more on-brand bowl names.
Yes.
So like we wanted to have like the Citrus Bowl be brought to you by Tangerines or something like that. I can't say that they've necessarily done that, but I have noticed that we're leaning a lot more into the brand stuff, where like Duke's Mayo Bowl having a giant thing of mayo and dumping it on the coach. There's a lot of things that are like around dumping things on coaches. So there's been a cold brew bath, there's been a French fry bath, mayonnaise bath, and probably a couple other ones, and the Cheez-It bath as well. So I do like, even if it's not quite on brand, I do like the leaning into the, if you're going to go all out with the commercialization, might as well have some fun with it.
I saw the Pop-Tarts trophy has a football with two little slits for you to drop the Pop-Tarts into, like a toaster. So I don't know if they're doing a toaster dump, like a toaster strudel dump or not, but at least the trophy is on brand. So I like that.
I like that. My other, and I have no idea what this means looking a year back. It says, need a big three.
Need a big three. Like a third conference? Are you trying to get us a third co-host?
I have no idea. I can see that I crossed out something else that said, get the ACC network on Xfinity. But then I crossed that out and then I wrote, need a big three, which sounds like something that I would want in a basketball game. You know when you just need a big three?
Oh, like a big wing.
No, but like a shot. But also big three, like Miami Heat, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, like big three. So, but that's kind of looking into what we're talking about this year. Big three, big quarterback, wide receiver, defensive player in the back. We need a big three. God, there's so much that transfers over. So we got one resolution done, which was like more emphasis on the brand stuff. So now we just need the big three. And
we did have our Booch Ball live meetup. We finally got the Boochies out in force for the Temple game. That was fun, and hopefully we get to do that again next year too.
Yeah, imagine if we could do that, but for like an actually important game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one unimportant Miami game and one important something else.
Sounds good to me, Freed.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Those are our Christmas gift requests and our New Year's resolutions, our Boocholutions. Send us an email with all of your things that you want. Freed, we have 6 eyes on this. I feel like that's like Instagram bots. Whoa. Instagram's popping though, so you never know.
It's almost
maybe 7. I wonder where it's focused right now.
Hop into the chat. Show us what's up.
If it's in portrait mode. All right, so there you go, folks. That's what we've got here on Booch Ball. That is the last thing we're thinking in 2023. But before you leave us here on live, it's now time for the third and the final segment of the year, which is, of course, who we're picking.
Who we're picking. And after we tell you who we're picking, we're going to grade out this Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle, the moment you've all been waiting for. Will it make it to the finals or not?
The snicky doo-doo.
All right, so playoffs, college football. No Florida State. What a shame. But we do have Michigan favored by 1.5 points against Alabama. That's intriguing. Should we just get right into it?
Let's get right into it, Freed.
Well, this is a game that you are all too familiar with. It's the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential.
That's right.
We got tickets.
I didn't get any fucking
Can we get tickets to that next year?
I have a family member that could have gotten me tickets, but instead they got me a Yeti cooler. for a 24 pack of beer that is so big that I won't I'm like, how did you possibly think I was going to be able to fit that in my apartment?
Sounds like something you could mail to me with some kombucha.
I've been complaining a lot about gifts this year. I am a spoiled little brat, little boy.
So
Freed.
what did you get him? Did you get him something good?
No. What do you get for a man who has everything in the world?
Well, that's
My
why
presence is a
this is
present.
why we don't have tickets to the Rose Bowl, Alex.
Yeah, I guess
You gotta
so.
think ahead.
I
You
should
gotta
have
think
gotten a
ahead.
birthday present. All right, Freed. We have number 1 Michigan versus number 4 Alabama. Both of these games are going to be battles between two teams that I always like to pick. I have my allegiance to Dr. Lauren Zimmerman and David Hershey with my Michigan side, but then I have my never pick against Nick Saban thing with Bama. And so Freed, it's tis the season. The holiday spirit is flowing, and the holiday bubbles are burping. And with this holiday season, I choose to go with my heart, Freed. I'm taking Michigan, whether you like it or not.
I don't like it, but I'm glad you picked it because I'm not picking against Nick Saban here. I just think the Big Ten has gotten so inflatedly overrated this season. Who has any of these teams beat? Who has Michigan beat outside of Ohio State? Who did Ohio State beat outside of Penn State? Who did Penn State beat? Nobody.
3 hours later.
So
who did Indiana beat?
Who did Rutgers beat? Hopefully not Miami. But back to what we're talking about here. I just gotta lean Alabama here. After
It's
taking
not.
down
I mean,
Georgia.
Freed, if I was a regular thinking person, I would pick Alabama, but I'm just doing it to stick with my Michigan picks because it's go blue. Cheaters or not, I'm sticking with Michigan.
Well, they're favorites, so other people are with you. But fair enough.
That's just bait. They're just baiting people into it. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. All right, next up, Freed, we have number 2, the Washington Phoenix Huskies, taking on number 3 in the Texas Longhorns. So we've got Longhorns and we've got Phoenix.
Golden Kombucha Boy, Quinn Ewers. Don't you forget, if you're listening out here and you don't know, Quinn Ewers is the only college football player that we know of to have actually received an NIL deal from a kombucha company. Yes, Jake, we're live. Thank you for tuning in.
That's right. And Freed, this is another matchup, of course, about two teams that I have consistently picked the entire year. I've been riding Phoenix all year long. You know that. We all know that. And then Texas, our golden Booch boy, Quinn Ewers. And again, Freed, I have no choice but to go with my heart. And for that reason, I will be hopping off the Phoenix train and I will be riding with the Longhorns, baby. Woo! Shout out to my cousin Chazzy. Oh, shit.
Whoa!
Fuck.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. I thought you did that.
I did not do that. Do it again.
Oh, sorry, just for the listening audience, not live. As I exclaimed, there was like a DJ set thing that happened behind me, like the lights dimmed and like fog. That was like super realistic too. Let me try it one more time. It's all about the Texas Longhorns, baby. Woo! Nope.
I think it was a Christmas miracle. Regardless.
That's not what I asked for.
Riding the Phoenix, baby. Washington to cover. I don't know if they're going to win, but they're going to cover. Giving me 4.5 points against that Phoenix offense? Hell yeah. We ride Phoenix all day long.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll see what happens there, Freed. All right. So we've picked against each other to end out our Booch Ball pick'ems. Let's see if we're on the same page about this Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle as we find out who will be advancing on into the next round. And the way that we're going to be playing this is that we've got the Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle made with cinnamon, vanilla, and holiday joy facing off against our number 1 seed, the Raspberry Limeade. So at this point, Freed, should I look and see what our score was, or should I wait to give my score here and then check? I think that's what I'll do.
I think so. I don't know about you, but I know how I feel. I don't feel like I need to get into that Raspberry Limeade to tell you which way I'm going to lean.
Okay. I'm ready to go. I've got my score.
All right. Well, I'll just go first. I like to give out a playoff bonus for these playoff Booches because it's that type of year and I'm just in a giving mood. So I'm going to keep it in for the Snickerdoodle because I'm so confident that even with this playoff bonus, I'm not going to usurp. Is that a word? Usurp?
Usurp.
I don't usurp, usurp.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
All right. I'm not going to usurp the raspberry limeade because this Snickerdoodle is just not that good. There's a reason it's a seasonal. I would not buy this any other time other than Christmas, even with the playoff bonus. We're going 6.2.
6.2. Not so fast, Freed. I actually really, really enjoyed this Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle. I actually find that it's one of the strongest Brew Doctors that we're going to have all year. I think it has a really nice balance with the kind of sweet tinge at the end to go against their kind of vinegary base. So I thought this was actually quite delightful, and it's really gotten me into the holiday spirit. I can't give it at the delicious range, which is what we say an 8 is a delicious score. But so for the Brew Doctor Snickerdoodle limited release holiday edition, my score is a 7.5.
Okay, that's a solid score. And let's revisit our raspberry limeade scores. Do you have those pulled up?
I sure do, Freed. All right, Freed. When we drank the Brew Doctor Raspberry Limeade, the what is it, like the collector's edition or founder's edition, right?
Founder series, yeah.
We got this straight from the source. Freed, much like happened throughout most of this year, we were dead locked on our scores with the Raspberry Limeade. Freed, you and I both gave the Raspberry Limeade a 7.9.
Nice.
So 7.9 for the Raspberry Limeade. Freed and ETF 5bot, what is the final score for the Snickerdoodle?
Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. How about a 6.85?
Almost nice.
Yeah. If you round it up, that's pretty nice.
All right. So by a full point and a couple extra little decimals, the Brew Doctor Raspberry Limeade advances on to the final round to face off against the Brew Doctor Orange Oasis, Freed.
You know, I feel good about that. It's any given Booch ball. I was a little full today, potentially leading to a lower score than usual, but I feel good about where we're at with the Raspberry Limeade. We're going to have to pull out all the stops, try to find you the Finders series for the final week. And, you know, Kane's game tomorrow.
Kane's game. I'll be there, baby. I'll be in attendance.
You're going?
And of course, I'll be there. Yeah, it's in my neck of the woods, baby. Gotta go. It's going to be a fun little glorified exhibition game between Miami and Rutgers. And I think it might be a fun little crowd. You know, let's see how the Rutgers fans, faithful, turn out for that game. I think this could be a very interesting matchup. I think there's going to be a lot of New Jersey in the house.
Who are you heading out there with?
I'm going with my dad, my mom, my cousin Chazzy, Horns, my cousin Spence, and any other Canes fans that are going to be going. Hit me up. Hannah Peterson, I see you out there. Let me know.
Okay. I might have to give you a little video call, and maybe we'll do a quick live stream at some point during that game. We can get the local eye in the sky involved. See what's going
Excellent. Sounds good to me, just like we did the Temple game.
And before we log off here today, I got a couple quick little playoff trivia questions for you. This is just going to take a half second, but just a little bit of fun for you and for those at home. Alex, which one of the 4 playoff teams does not have a 1,000-yard running back?
Which one of the 4 playoff teams does not have a 1,000-yard running back? I don't know. Washington?
Nope.
Bama?
That's right.
Yeah. I switched it last second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fun.
I got a couple more.
Hit me.
All right. Passing yards. Who's got the most out of the quarterbacks?
Phoenix?
Yeah, baby. Touchdown to interception ratio. Which of the QBs has it best this season?
JJ McCarthy?
Yes. Good work. way to finish strong, and we hope our Miami Hurricanes can tomorrow as well.
Very true, Freed. Well, thank you, all you Boochies out there, live and on our podcast, for tuning in. This year is in the books here, but we will come back to you with our final championship episode later on next week. Boochies, we love you, and as always,
stay cultured. Peace.
Booch. We playing Booch ball.